Guess who's back in the house? Guess who's back in the house? Happy New Year, family. It's been a while. Listen, y'all know the rules. Mother is booked and busy, and I get here when I can. It's also pilot season, so y'all know how that is. Y'all know how it was for me last year, so I'm back though. Let's get into it. So we opened up with Trinity crying and falling apart because she had to send one of her good Judies home. And Monet is just like, girl, why are you crying? It's a competition, get over it. I feel for Trinity because I understand. You know what I mean? I think that community, the drag community is very small. You know what I mean? And everybody knows that this competition, this money is needed. So whenever you are the one that's the deciding factor on if this person can continue in the competition to possibly receive such a huge lump sum of money, and you're the one that sent them home so it's not possible for them, you're going to feel something, especially if you have a relationship with them. They call each other sisters, you know what I mean? So I don't think that she was trying to milk it for the cameras. I think she really had a moment, and Monet was not having it. But how was she going to feel when it's her turn? Like when she has to do something like that. But you know what? The way Monet is performing, I don't know if that's going to happen. Brown cow stunning, not so much. I love Latrice. That's why they brought Latrice back, because Latrice always has the best one-liners, her and Gia Gunn. Guys, I say, well, there's just room for everybody all the time. Oh, I love messy Gia. So let's talk about how Gia continues to come for Pheromone. I was just like, there has to be something more than what she's telling, because she is like dogmatic about getting her off the show. She keeps on saying there's an issue, but I really felt like Gia just wanted to get her off the show. You know what I mean? I don't think that she was really harboring what had happened when, you know, Pheromone came to her show drunk. I think that she really just came with a vendetta, like, you messed up my check, I'm gonna mess up yours. Valentina's pleather look, I wanna recreate that. That was gorgeous. Let me tell you something about Valentina. Sis came ready for the cameras. Like, she knew exactly what the show was. She knew the ins and the outs of it, and she is working it to the best of her ability, and I applaud her for it. The other queens walk in the showroom in like Birkenstocks and khakis. Every time Valentina works into their showroom, she is giving you a look, and then she is calling out the brands. Like, they don't even know what she's doing. They just think that she's just having a little fun kiki with the cameras, but I'm like, no, guys. Valentina is working her branding, because now what's going to happen, those brands are going to start working with her. She probably paid for the outfits that she wore on the show, but now those brands are going to be like, you know what? Valentina just gave us a commercial. Let's call her to New York Fashion. We have her sit in the front row. Let's send her something. Let's sponsor this. Like this, Valentina is working, and I'm so pissed off because the other queens don't catch it. They just think that she's just being overly dramatic. And I'm like, she is producing the hell out of her portion on this show. So she knows exactly what she's going to look like during editing. She probably had no surprises when she watched this show back, because she knew exactly what she was doing, and none of the queens caught it. Gia Gunn gives me gorgeous. She doesn't give me fabulous, because this, let me just say it. I was going to try to find another word, but this ghetto peasant look that she was wearing, I was like, girl, I have seen this in like Rainbow, you know, them tacky Instagram boutiques. And I'm like, you got a lot of mouth about what other people are doing and how other people are dressing. And you are serving Fashion Nova clearance section. First of all, she's serving Fashion Nova, the Burbank store. Listen, if you from LA and you've been to Fashion Nova, the Burbank store, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like if Rainbow was a haunted house. So Miss Stacey Lane Matthews is the guest on the show, and she is serving her best Tamala Man fashions. Like, she is Tamala Man in the costume. Like, she just put on the Tamala Man suit and came on Drag Race, and nobody mentioned it. I'm like, how does nobody, especially Monet Exchange, even Monique Hart, come on, you grew up in the church. How did nobody get a confessional or ever mention during the scenes that she looks exactly like Tamala Man? You know, I am so happy for Lizzo. I was so excited for her when Ru said that she was going to be one of the people like doing the vocals for the Maxi challenge. I was like, what an honor. Not only is it an honor, it's such a huge gig That girl, her career is really, really taking off. I like it. If y'all don't follow Lizzo by now, y'all need to get into it. She has really been on her grind for a very long time, and her star is starting to rise. Mother put in the work, and she deserves everything that she's getting. I was very excited that she was, doing the vocals on Drag Race. I'm not doing death drops because I promise you, if this studio doesn't have a basement, it will. Did Stacey Lane ever do All Stars? Is this why she's not on this season? There needs to be more of her. She is just funny and just old pageant queen. Like, I wanted to see so much more of her. Her confessionals were funnier than the contestants on the show. So let's talk about this Maxi challenge. We have 2 teams for RuPaul's supergroup, Henny Supergirl group, and we have Team Monique Hart and we have Team Trinity. From the filming, I was nervous about Team Trinity. They just looked all over the place. It didn't seem like it was coming together. The vocals for Monique's Heart team and her songs just seemed more superior than what they were giving. And sometimes I feel like when Ru puts these challenges on the show, I feel like sometimes it's unfair because some people just get a better song. And I feel like Monique's Heart team, they just got a better song. The song I was vibing to it even when they were like recording it. And then we get to Trinity and I'm just like, this is just fluff. But the other song was so good. I'm like, they're kind of set up to win, in my opinion. What did you guys think of their songs? Because I was just like, yeah, this doesn't seem fair to me. Let's talk about Trinity for a second. I think she's playing the game too nice. I don't know what her strategy is. I don't think she has one. I think she's playing more to the cameras of, I want to be this very nice queen. These are my sisters. And I don't know if that's because she didn't come out as lovable in her beef with, what's her name? Proportionizing. The big queen with the loaf. I know her. I just forgot her name. But I think she came off as the villain in that situation. So she's using this season, All Stars, to maybe redeem herself and just put a different image. Because that's what happens with All Stars. However you looked on your season, if you didn't find it favorable, you come on All Stars and you're like this new and improved queen and you've learned from all your mistakes. So I think that's what Trinity is doing. I'm hoping that it doesn't mess her up in the end because yes, y'all sisters, but when it comes down to money, people get gully, okay? They get gully. They do whatever they have to do to get that prize at the end. Because right now, the money isn't on everybody's mind because they're just meeting, they're just having fun, they're just doing a couple of challenges, and they've been there for like maybe 2 weeks at this point, so it hasn't really hit them. When it gets down to about 4 or 5 girls in the room, that's when you really gonna see who's sisters and who is about that check. I was really disappointed that Monique Hart entertained that messy conversation about pheromone with Gia Gunn. Here's why. Monique, you don't know nothing about the situation, so why are you even getting into it in the workroom where pheromone can like clearly see that something is going on? And then pheromone is your team member. So why are you, I felt like it was just very messy of Monique to even do that. I was disappointed that she did that, to be quite honest with you. And I think that she felt bad after she realized her participating in that mess with Gia Gunn really messed up pheromone, because Gia then goes over there and be like, nobody on your team wants you, they think you're the weakest link. And then I'm glad that pheromone didn't internalize that, but then she said to her, I don't need to get into drama with people because I'm trying to produce a storyline or have drama for a storyline. I'm glad that she called it out. I couldn't believe they kept it in, but I'm glad that she called out Gia because I just don't know what Gia is doing. I don't think that this whole you came to my workplace drunk drama is this big for her to not focus on her competition, not focus on being the first trans person to ever participate in Drag Race, not focusing on getting the money, not focusing on like really reconnecting with your sisters, because she talks about how, you know, she's not close with a lot of queens. So I'm just like, I felt like she didn't really have an agenda. I think she just really came back on to be messy. Production knew that they could use her for that, and that was it. And it was really disappointing because we want to see the best of the best. It's a competition. Yes, there could be some shade and drama, but we really want to see what you have to offer. And I don't think we were able to see what Gia had to offer. Especially if you haven't seen her season, you think that this is all she can do. She can turn out a look. but I don't know what's happening with her. I really don't. This ain't the Gia I remember from her season. I remember her being shady and messy, but it was comical. You know what I mean? There's room for everybody. You know, that. I don't know what's going on with her. Now let's get to the runway. Rue's dress, didn't like it. Gave me Aquaman tease. It was not flattering on her. I don't know what's going on this season. I really feel like they save their money for the regular Drag Race season. And, you know, a little bit of savings, they throw it to All Stars, because Rue has not been turning out any looks where I'm like, oh my goodness. It's all like, ugh, was this in the storage? I don't know. It was a no from me, okay? However, Sierra and Casey Musgraves, they are the best looking guest judges I've seen this season. I love Casey Musgraves' whole look. Sierra looked amazing. They both had on good wigs. I was enjoying their time on this show. The critiques, okay, but the looks, serving it. Love it. I'm tired. So the first contestant down the runway is Gia. She looks great. Like, Gia always looks great in pink. The way she did her makeup, the way she did her hair. The dress, again, I don't know. Gia is internally fabulous. It just doesn't come out in the looks because the dress looked very, very cheap. I was hoping for couture. Like, that whole look, she could have really came out with a nice gown, but pink always looks great on her. So I feel like that's just a safe look because she can work pink. But this whole dress, neck up, here for it. Latrice looks great. This is the best that I've seen her look so far. I really love this whole look. I love the hair. I love the makeup. She has really elevated her makeup skills because even before in her season, she was giving me, boy, can we be real? Like, you know, hearty, sweet boy, because she couldn't really get the beard together. Like, it would still come out in the makeup sometimes, but she's learned how to shade. She's learned how to contour. Her makeup is very superior than what she was doing on her season. Growth. Manila, amazing runway, amazing. And I think she probably was going to save this look, but she threw it out there and did everything that she could to elevate this look because she looks great, but her performance, not the best. So I'm thinking that this look was, hey, let me put out everything that I can because I just know that I ain't kill it. So let me kill this runway. And she did. She did. Trinity looks amazing. I'm not shocked by that at all. Like, I don't expect, after that green number, I don't expect anything less from Trinity. So I'm here for it. Valentina though, her dress gave me an issue because I was thinking that there was going to be a reveal because the back was left open like it was going to be a reveal, but that never came. So I was underwhelmed. Naomi, I love her dress from the waist up. The bottom looks very DIY. And I know that she's probably trying to go off from the newspaper dress that she made that, you know, everybody was gagging over that Rue then recreated the following season. Anyway, I know she's probably going off of that and using her skills for that and probably maybe just a callback to what she can do with her hands, with her garments. But it just read very cheap DIY on the runway. This is the thing. I say this all the time. They have to be very careful with their looks. This is what just any TVT, especially Drag Race, when you were coming on this show, you know, runway is very important. You have to make sure that your looks look well, not just in your living room, not just in the showroom of the designer, under the lights on that show and on HD cameras. I think they all need to put on their dresses, get under some kind of studio lights if you can, and have somebody film you on an HD camera and see if the same effect that you get just by looking in the mirror in this garment is the same effect that the camera is giving you. Because a lot of times these queens are like, oh my goodness, the dress was amazing, but it just didn't look right on stage. They say it so much. And I'm like, just prepare for this because everything changes under lights and under HD cameras. Lighting and camera is so important. And it could change your whole look from fab to drab or from, you know, fab to don't do it ever again. Pheromone, her makeup always looks amazing. Pheromone's makeup and hair, that's where she puts all her time and her skill. The dress looked very pedestrian. And by pedestrian, I'm like junior prom or soft pop dress. Like, it just wasn't runway. And again, it probably looked great in the showroom, probably looked great in your living room, probably looked great in your pictures, but on the runway, just didn't read well. Monet Exchange. I agree with the Cheryl Lee Ralph extravaganza. I saw it as soon as she walked down the runway. But the wig, I felt like the hairline was pushed way too far up, and it was taking me out. I was focusing on that wig other than like the dress of the whole look. Like, I couldn't get into it because it ain't look right. Now let's get to the judging. Monique, I am surprised that she was in the bottom. I love that team. I love everybody said love. I loved her verse specifically. That was the strongest verse out of the whole show for me. I think putting her in the bottom because she struggled with her jacket, I don't think that was enough, because I don't know. So her struggling with the jacket and looking down for just that time in her verse was enough to put her in the bottom? That was weird. I didn't understand that. I don't even think I talked about her look because it was so terrible. That's probably why she was in the bottom. That look. Oh, wait. So Manila is in the bottom because she forgot the words, not because that performance was dreadful. I was not wild with that at all. She did the crazy eyes Manila thing, but I'm like, okay. I just didn't like it. But I didn't know she forgot the words. I'm sad that look couldn't save her, because that look, woo! I'm pissed off about that. But yeah, she should have been in the bottom. Right along with Pheromone, because that robot, whatever, I don't even think she meant to do that. I think she was thinking she was doing the same dance moves as everybody else, but woo, that was hard to watch. And just back to Monique really quick, because I was still really pissed about it. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's All Stars, right? So they pick at every little thing. But I felt like just the jacket and her looking down in that moment, I don't think it was enough to put her in the bottom. With Pheromone, Monique Hart did not have the same performance as Pheromone. Like, come on, bro. So Valentina and Monet Exchange are the tops. I agree with that. I think they did a phenomenal job. Monique Hart was my strong third, but I think that Monet and Valentina really did very well on their verses. And when they went back to the workroom and all of the, the queens at the bottom were trying to talk to Valentina, she's like, listen, I gotta get ready for my lip sync. A lot of people thought that was selfish. I thought that was selfish in the beginning. But then when I listened to her and she was just like, I gotta redeem myself. You know what I mean? I did that whole, I like to keep it on, please. I didn't know the words, but I'm ready. And I want them to see that I am ready. So I got that. I don't think she was trying to be, trying to steal the scene or whatever. I think she was just like, listen, this is what I came back for. Even if I go home, I at least want to set the record straight that I know how to do my job. Valentina, those pants were very disrespectful to Aaliyah's legacy. She's coming with the comedy this season. I'm happy. Like, I'm telling you, I love the way that she is producing herself on this show. It's such a great representation of just a redemption story. Like, she saw what people liked and disliked about her, and she magnified the like and she diminished the dislike. She's doing so great. I wish Gia would have took some notes from this girl, but she ain't listen. This is the kind of shade I want. I don't want shade that's gonna be making other queens cry in the workroom. Like, who wants to watch that? And can I also just say, Valentina's walk to the lipstick, girl, I'm telling y'all, like, this is what I want for my reality TV. Like, she came on this show with a plan and she's executing it. Even when she's getting her judging, thank you. Even when it's a disfavorable critique, she's like, thank you. And then she did that runway walk to the lipstick. She walks into the workroom wearing all designer, calling everything out. Like, Valentina, this is why they mad, girl. This is why they mad. Okay, so I thought Monet Exchange was gonna win this lip sync. Just from what I know, see, this is the thing. I came into Monet's season already being a fan from YouTube. I've seen her shows, I've seen her comedy, I've seen her vlog. I thought that, I don't know, maybe it's just the competition of the show, but I've seen her on YouTube do lip syncs and she does such a great job. They're so creative and I'm just watching her and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? Having said that, I don't think even if she gave her best, even if she did more splits, that she could have topped Valentina. Y'all, this girl came ready, okay? Even before the music hit, she was in it, all over that stage, split in it. I was like, wow. Valentina redeemed herself. They can't talk about another lip sync. She worked that entire runway. You couldn't take your eyes off of her. And although I was disappointed in Monet's performance, I don't know if she could have won that. Because Valentina was in a different place, man. She came back like, nope, this is my time. I am going to win this. And, you know, she did. And it was just Pheromone's time. Like, Pheromone can't be mad at her. It was your time, baby. You didn't give a great performance. You gave the worst performance of the night. If it wasn't you, then it should have been Gia. Like, you and Monique Hart shouldn't have been in there. And I feel like they put Monique Hart in place of Gia because they wanted to keep Gia a bit longer. I felt like that was a producer thing. I don't think that Monique Hart deserved to be in the bottom two. And let's talk about how she kept it all the way real, even in her elimination. When she went to hug everybody, she hugged Gia, and Gia's just like, I love you. She's like, oh no, you don't love me. I love that. Because, like, Pheromone, be true to yourself. She does not love you. Gia Gunn messed up Pheromone. I don't think that she messed her up to the point where she got her out of the show, but that going up to her in the workroom and saying, everybody thinks you're the weakest link, your team doesn't believe in you, that does something to you, especially right before you're supposed to get on stage and you feel like you're up there with people who don't want you to be up there and don't think that you belong or that you have the skills to be up on that stage with them. That does mess you up. I don't think it calls her to do the robot. You know what I mean? I think the robot got her out. But what Gia did was wrong, and I'm glad that Pheromone called it out. But even though I was cheering for her on that runway with Gia Gunn with the, oh no, you don't love me, she pissed me off when she went back to the room. Like, she's crying because she can't, like, kiss the mirror to write her message or whatever, and she's, like, having a full-on breakdown, and all I could hear was Monique Hart. You're a grown man. Anyway, that was it for me for this episode. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And join me for the next episode, the Snatch Game of Love, which was dreadful. But let's talk about it. See ya.